I'm going to show you how to create this really easy BeetleJuice Delores makeup look. I feel like this is going to be a popular Halloween costume this year. As for your base, you just want to pick up a really pale shade of foundation. Here I'm using the Makeup Revolution in Real Life filter in the shade 0.5. If you don't have a paler foundation, you can always substitute it for a white or grey face paint. Put on an even amount on your face, not too much because this foundation is so full coverage, and blend that out with a foundation brush or a beauty blender. When you're using a paler foundation shade, you always want to remember to blend that down your neck, or your face and your neck are going to be two completely different shades. Now, to give your face some shape and the cheekbones of Delores, you want to pick up a contour shade. I'm just grabbing the Made by Mitchell curve case in the shade Light. To get the most definition, you want to load up a flat brush until you're able to paint them lines on. Delores makeup, you don't want to follow your natural cheek line with your contour. You want to do a more curvy line down to your jaw, like a skull. Or the jawline, I also like to paint just above the jaw so you're able to see the contour of it. Just a makeup tip for the illusion of bigger lips, just paint a contour just below your bottom lip. Then I'm just blending that all out with a dense fluffier brush. For your last cream product, we're just going to conceal the face. I'm just using the Plouise base in Rumour Zero. As we've used the lightest shade of foundation, you want to pick up the lightest shade of concealer that you have. Just like we did with the contour, I'm just going to initially paint this on with a flat brush. I'm mainly focusing this on the inner portion of my face, under my eyes, nose and my chin. Just another makeup tip, if your cream products ever go a little bit drier, you've leave them to settle a little bit, grab a setting spray and just douse your face in that. I am just blending that out with a small fluffy dense brush. This one's from Real Techniques. If you feel like there's too much of a contrast between the white and your foundation, you can always grab your foundation brush and just blend all that together. As you can start to see, my face is starting to look more seamless and it doesn't lose its coverage either. We are using no blush today and it's absolutely killing me, but you want to take a setting powder, preferably in translucent. You want to take a good amount of powder onto your powder puff and dab it onto the back of your hand just to take the excess off. Using the powder puff, you just want to push this into the exact same areas of the face that you've just concealed, just to set them to make sure your makeup will last all night. To make those cheekbones pop even more, you want to take a large amount of powder onto the powder puff and carve just underneath the cheekbone. Leave that settle for 2 minutes and then dust off with a powder brush. To give more definition to those cheekbones, you want to take a grey eyeshadow. I'm using the one from a Morphe palette. I'm just using a more tapered brush so I'm able to get into those areas correctly. Just want to blend this eyeshadow over the areas that you contoured in the first place, just to give more depth. Just going to take a mini version of that brush for my nose contour and just make myself a thinner nose. Next is my eyebrows. Obviously I am going to take a darker shade even though I am blonde just for this character. I'm just going to be using the Benefit pomade in the shade 3.5 and a small angled brush. Delores has a very strong fluffy brow, so that's what I'm going to be creating. I'm just going to draw a more straight line rather than an arch one at the base of my brow and then just fluff the product up. Then you can just connect the arch just at the end of the tail. Like I've done, if you mess up it doesn't even matter because we're going to carve it out anyway. Or an easier option, just take a makeup wipe and just clean that straight up. To make those brows extra fluffy and structured, just take a brow gel. I'm just using the Juvia's Place and just fluff them up. This is the final base completed. Now it's time to move on to eyes. I'm just taking that same shade that I used for my concealer just for my eye base. As you can kind of see, I like to take a more angled flat brush just to be able to carve around my brows. You just want to carefully swipe just below the brow and then pat that into place for a more full coverage. To create a dark base for my eyeshadow to go on, just to make it pop a little bit more, I'm just taking a black pencil. This is the Laura Mercier one. You can always skip this step if you like, scroll further on in the video. With this step you don't have to be precise at all. You just want to create an oval shape with the pencil just straight on your eyelid. It doesn't really matter anyway, just because we're going to place a black eyeshadow straight over this. Now it's time to grab any black eyeshadow that you have. I'm just using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina palette. It's so pigmented. Take a dense fluffy brush and just put that straight over where that pencil is. The more you pack the black on, the more pigmented it's going to be. To blend that out, you want to use the previous shade of grey we recently used for the contour and a small fluffy brush and start using circular motions around the outside of that black. When you're blending colours, always make sure you put your brush 50% on the colour and 50% off for the most seamless blend. Just to blend those harsh edges, get yourself a big fluffy brush with no product on and just buff around the outside of that colour. Black is a hard pigment to work with, so if you find it is too dull, just repeat those steps over and over till you're satisfied. Before you add any lashes, which I don't show in this video, so if you would like a tutorial let me know, just apply a bit of mascara. To finish off the eyes, this is the step I absolutely love doing, is adding black to my waterline. I'm just start using that same Laura Mercier pencil. Just use light motions of swiping back and forth and pull your eyelid down a little bit just so you can get in there. Now it's time for the creative details. You want to take the same pack of brush you use for your black eyeshadow and create 3 small lines just underneath your lower eyelid. The easiest thing you can ever do is use your finger as a tool. You want to take take your pinky finger and just swipe the black eyeshadow down your face. It gives it such a smudge look without precision, which is exactly what this look is. Now we're going to start creating Delores' iconic staples. Now I'm going to be activating a black face paint and taking a really small thin paintbrush. You want to draw on a diagonally half and half line just down the side of your face. To give this line a more 3D effect look, you want to take your eyeshadow brush that you used on your eyes and just buff over that line. I'd recommend using a grey eyeshadow instead of a black just to give it more shading, and if it is too much, just take a fluffy brush, a clean one again, and just buff over that. I promise these staples are easier than the look. All you've got to do is take that black face paint again and create C-shaped lines just over that line. Try to make them thicker in the middle and thinner on the edges. Now we're going to give them black lines some more definition. You want to take a silver paint or a pigment or an eyeshadow. Just fill in those middle parts of the staples where you made them a little bit thicker. Make those staples look like they're popping out of your face. Take a grey eyeshadow and create little dots at the end of the staples. My dad did get me a Mackey's while I was filming. What a legend. I was starving at this point, so anything, I was just so hungry. Now it's time for the last part of the makeup, the lips. You want to take that same black eyeliner pencil that you used earlier and just use it to line your lips. I would recommend overlining your lips for this, as we're also going to fill it in with a red to create a smoky effect. As I mentioned, you want to take that red lipstick to fill in the inner portion of your lips. I'm using the BeetleJuice one from the collection. You do want to take a bright red lipstick, as when you blend the black in, it does create a more smoky effect. Once you've rubbed your lips together, they should start to blend out a little bit with the black liner. If not, just take the black liner again and just smoke it in just a little bit. Also fill in the outer corners of your lips. It gives your lips a more full effect. Now the makeup look's done, it's time to add the wig and the headpiece, which ties it all in. This is the final makeup look. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe and like. I'm trying to hit my goal by the end of the year, and thank you for watching.